Talk golden to me.
It's my dream to have a golden beard.
Younger but looks older.
I'll even try a squat. Here we go.
Talk golden to me.
The six of clubs.
The golden.
Welcome to another episode of the Talk Golden to Me video podcast show. Your host, Evan Golden, a.k.a. Golden TV, as always, here at the studios at the Berman Law Group. Excited to bring you this special episode. All my episodes are, of course, special, but this one is a woman that just caught my eyes and ears and just fascinated me. I saw her on America's Got Talent, the TV show, the game show, the reality show, whatever you want to call it, the competition show, and I was just enamored by her story, her personality, and her wit and her comedic timing. So all our viewers that are listening, you have the privilege of listening and getting to know Julia Scott. Our viewers that are watching and joining us on the video portion, here she is in studio, Julia Scott from the hit show America's Got Talent, America's funniest woman of a certain age. What's your title?
Well, Funny Women of a Certain Age is a show we're in. I'm of a certain age, and I hope that I'm funny, but the two don't necessarily go together. This is a fantastic. It's like a golden palace.
You like this, right? You feel like the energy and the aura in here?
I feel like I'm getting wealthier just sitting here absorbing all this gold.
I have lots of gold. We have lots of gold surprises, so we're gonna hopefully provide you with lots of fortune in your future from this episode.
I sure
of the
hope
show.
so. Oh God, yeah. Thank you. If you could do that, that'd be terrific. Yeah.
That's my goal of this episode.
To make me rich and famous.
What? You already are.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No.
Julia Scott. So
Let me tell you a story about that.
Go ahead.
I was out walking one day, right, with my development where I live. This old lady comes out. She comes out of the house. She goes, "Excuse me, are you that comedian?" So I said, "Yes." She goes, "You're famous?" I go, "Really?" I said, "What's my name?" And she just went, ah. I go, "Apparently I have to work a little harder at it, you know."
Hey, at least they're recognizing you, though,
That's
right?
That's true.
At least they recognize you. So you decided to go on the television show America's Got Talent and share your comedy, your wits with America. What made you want to go on the show?
Well, I hadn't given it any consideration. They have talent scouts that scour the internet looking for potential acts. So I guess they found my website, juliascotti.com, and they reached out to my manager at the time and asked if I wanted to audition for it. And I didn't want to go stand online with 10,000 people, you know. And, so they said no. They arranged what's called an appointment audition, where I just, it's set aside just for me. So I bypassed that morning all these people, they're juggling babies and setting themselves on fire, getting ready. And I just went by like the Queen of England. I'm like, "Good morning, everyone, peasants. I'm going to my audition now." So that's how it happened.
That's nice. So they found you. They recruited you.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to do it. I said to my manager, I don't know. I'm not a big, reality show kind of person. She goes, "Are you insane?" She goes, "It's the opportunity of a lifetime." I go, "All right, well, when you put it that way, I have no choice." So that's what happened. That's how it got there.
What was it like being on the show? Can you just describe it? Because that must be pretty exhilarating, maybe intimidating. I mean, you're talking a huge stage, lights, camera, action, cameras, celebrities judging you. Describe that experience.
Well, the first show was in Pasadena, and the theater held, I think, 2,000 people. The advantage I have over a lot of the acts was that I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm used to working theaters. So I try, other than the fact that the four judges are sitting there, I just talked myself into saying, well, it's just another show. And I was able to stay calm like that. The only difference was I came out as transgendered on the show, which was kind of intimidating for me and quite frankly, very scary.
Did the people that casted you on the show, the producers, the casting directors, did they know you were transgender before when they found you?
Yeah, I think that was part of the reason why they booked me. And
that was quite a shock and surprise. The judges' jaws, they couldn't believe it.
Yeah, the producers knew, and they left it up to me. I right up to the point where I said it on camera. They didn't know if I was going to do it. And if you know anything about comedians, we have like an executive board in our heads. That while you're watching the show, we're taking meetings and writing, jokes. And so just as I got to that point where Howie asked me why I took a break, because I took 10 years off from doing stand-up, I was making that decision as to whether or not, I was going to say it. And when I did, I looked at the audience, and there was like that momentary, there was like a second of no reaction, and all of a sudden, the room just erupted, and it was overwhelming.
How'd that make you feel, the way the crowd reacted to that?
Well, I waited until after my set. I wanted my set to stand on its own. So the set went pretty well. And so I felt comfortable saying it at that point. It was very, very, very touching, though. And the aftermath of that was I heard from the straight people, trans people all around the world, because I didn't know that the show aired in England, it aired, it was Australia and a bunch of other places. So it was kind of moving, yeah.
Let's go into that a little bit, because I was so intrigued. Did you always identify as a woman, or is it something that happened to you, a midlife crisis? I'd love to hear the story.
I grew up in an era where that kind of thing just didn't exist. There was no internet, so there was no. I mean, I knew about Christine Jorgensen and Renee Richards, and I always was fascinated by them. I didn't know what the issue was specifically. I knew something was not right with me. Pretty much all my life. I thought I might have been gay, but that just wasn't. I just wasn't into that. And it wasn't until I was about 50, really, that a good friend of mine helped me find the answer to it. So that's kind of that's it in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty big change in your life, obviously.
You think? Yeah, I talk about it in my act too, and coming out, the whole coming out process, and I say in my act, I mean, I wish I could have just been gay. Gay would have been so much easier. I could have done gay standing on my head, which would have made me very popular with the boys. But, when you're gay, you can stay in the closet. You don't have to come out. Nobody ever has to know. When you're trans, everybody has to know. You show up at work in a dress and heels, and people are going to notice. It's like, does Bob look a little different to you today? That kind of thing. So it was a huge step in my life, because you have to face family, and I have children, and it's tough.
How'd the children react to it?
Not good. They were young at the time, and there was a period of years where we weren't communicating, and it was hard. It was really hard.
Do you use kind of comedy to kind of release some of those challenges and kind of what you were dealing with? Is that kind of the release for you?
It's always been a release, even prior to going through this change. When I first started in 1980, it's very therapeutic. Even though most comics are, like we like to say, fucked up, but you always work out your issues on stage. I think it's part of what makes us comics, and not serial killers.
We have a lot of comedians on our show, and one thing that we continually see talk about is doing comedy in 2019, 2020 right now is very hard. I think we're at an all-time sensitivity level right now. And listen, when you're going to a comedy show, you should be expecting to be insulted and know that, let's be a little politically incorrect at the show, but still I see videos of comedians getting stuff thrown at them and booed off stage and trying to fight them. It seems very challenging for a comedian now because everyone is just so sensitive.
It's the last bastion of total free speech left in America. Comics have always been at the forefront of moving trends and moving society, and going back to Lenny Bruce days, just stretching those boundaries and seeing how far you can go. It's what we do, and if you don't understand that coming into a comedy show, then don't show up. But there's niche comedy too. There's Christian comics. They book shows for just clean comics. We had an episode this last night where we could talk about anything, but we couldn't say the F-bomb, which was so weird because you could talk about every disgusting other sexual act, but you couldn't say it. So you're walking a fine line these days. But we manage.
Listen, words are just air. I say that all the time.
It is, but people like to get offended. I think they like to get huffy about. You offended me.
The best word I think of 2019 is triggered. People love.
Yes.
They get triggered over anything and everything, right?
And I fall prey to that too, being transgender, because sometimes I'll hear some stuff and I just go,
Are you a big advocate now, though, for a lot of other people that are transitioning or considering?
Yes.
I'm sure that since you've kind of came out and shared your story, that people are leaning on you for maybe advice or inspiration.
There are a number of trans comics out there now. I was probably one of the earlier ones, but yeah, because of AGT, I heard from so many trans people, including one. I was just telling this story last night. There was somebody, as you know, I don't know if you know this or not, but the suicide attempt rate in the trans community is like 41%. And so I heard from somebody, and I don't know where he or she was, but they said they were going to kill themselves that night, and they just happened to have AGT on, and they saw the show, and it gave them some hope to continue, living and not kill themselves. So that was kind of,
See, that's the stories I like. I figured some stuff like that happened.
Yeah.
So kudos to you for sharing that and being open. You're pretty brave, pretty courageous.
People say that. You know what? I've lived not coming out and not knowing what the problem was all these years was the prison. Coming out is liberating, and just I don't give a shit what you think of me. If you don't want to watch me, if you don't want to come to my shows, then don't. I'm not forcing you. Just let me be me. That's all. And I think that's the message for everybody. Just leave people alone. If you don't agree with them, leave them alone. But don't try to stop them. Unless they're hurting somebody.
We are speaking with Julia Scotti, world-renowned comedian, transgender, appeared on America's Got Talent, really just kind of inspired and took over the world with her story and her wit and her comedy. And now she's being recognized by not only shows like us, but she has a show coming out on Showtime, a special, which I want to hear about. It's called Funny Women of a Certain Age. This is going to be appearing on Showtime. This is exciting stuff. What a break, what a big gig for a comedian.
There's a couple things going on. There's also a documentary in the works on my life, which should be out next year, too. But the Showtime thing is, I have a friend, Carol Montgomery. She's a great comic from New York City. And she, like a number of us, we were getting aged out in the comedy community, even though, we were probably hitting our peak as comics. So she had this idea to put together these shows for older female comics. And it started at this little theater in New York called the Crane Theater. And she managed to parlay it into a Showtime special. And she did one back in January, and I was supposed to have been on that one, but I had open heart surgery, so I had to pass on it. And then she said, if I do a second one, you're guaranteed to be on it. And I was. We just taped it. When did we tape it? October 6th. And it will air sometime March 2020.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and it was a great show. It really, really, we rocked the house, all of us. Caroline Ray was on it. Tammy Pescatelli was on it. Dia Vidali. It just was a great show. So, yeah, people should get Showtime and watch us.
Yes, that's going to be exciting. So that's coming out in March, and you could go right to her website, juliascotti.com, and you could see all her upcoming tour dates if you want to see her live on a comedy show, and then Funny Women of a Certain Age. And I understand you have a CD that's out as well.
Mm-hmm. It's called Hello Boys, I'm Back.
Ooh, yes. Hello Boys, I'm Back.
Yes.
Tell me about the CD.
Well, I cut it right after AGT, and we did it up in Seattle. For Uproar Records, and it's done really, really well, and getting a lot of play on Sirius. Can I say Sirius XM? Was that me that dinged or you?
No. Yeah, you're on the show. People are watching live. They're starting to write you now. It's fine.
Yes, and you can download it. It's on every platform. In fact, if you listen on Pandora, it's free, so you don't even have to buy it, for crying out loud.
And what's the topics on that?
God, well, I talk a little about getting older. I talk a little bit about being trans on. I talk a little bit about dating. It was kind of the stuff I was doing when I was just starting to gain some traction as a comic after being idle for 10 years. So it's a good album. It's funny. I get people tell me all the time when they pop it in the car on the way to work, and it makes them feel better. we're working on the second album, and that should be out sometime next year too.
Exciting.
But
And the Woman of a Certain Age, Funny Woman of a Certain Age, is that on tour as well? Is that going to be a live comedy show as well?
there are shows being set up. We're booked for. I know that I'm on one next year for Texas. We just signed a deal for that. And Carol's great. She wants this to be sort of a touring road company kind of show with different, different cities, different casts. And she's going to do it. She's that kind of woman.
You still writing a lot of new comedy?
Oh God, yeah. The one thing I can't stand is to get stale and do the same act. I mean, I know comics who have done the same act for 20 years, and I don't know how they can do that. It would make me insane. I'd rather have a 9-to-5 job. I'm always looking to, push the envelope a little bit, be a little more creative, explore things that maybe other comics aren't doing. So yes, I'm always writing.
What is it? It's got to be the most greatest feeling having the audience, the crowd, react to a joke and laugh. Can you describe what that does to you?
Think of the best sex you've ever had, and it's better than that. If you get a standing O, it's just.
Standing O, is that standing orgasm?
Well, they're one and the same, yeah. If you get a standing O, you're having an orgasm at the same time. Absolutely. Yeah, I think I love what I do more now than I did when I started because I'm doing it for different reasons. When I was young and I started doing it, I wanted to be famous and rich and yada, yada, yada. While those things are kind of cool and it would be nice if it happened, I'm just enjoying the art of what I do, and there's no motive attached to it. I just want to be a good comic, and for that reason I'm enjoying it more, and for that reason I think I'm funnier now than I was, 20 years ago. Yeah. Like
we were saying, I mean, you've been such inspiration with your story, but what you do at these shows, people that are coming there to get away from their everyday life stress and they need a break and they want to laugh, so you're giving them you probably seen the psychology of what laughing does to the human body, the endorphins. So what you're providing to people is a gift.
Well, I can't tell you how many times people have come up after a show and say, I lost a parent a couple of weeks ago, or I lost my job, and I just needed to feel better. And that really does make you feel, like you're doing good work. I know we sometimes trivialize being comedians, but you forget that what we say, makes a difference in somebody's life.
Huge impact. Yeah, you don't realize what someone's going there, what type of release they need, or distraction, or what they're going through in their life.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
How does it feel to have Talent Recap note you and call you the best female comedian in America's Got Talent history?
That's a little bit of hyperbole. I don't know. I don't know. I can't even speak to that. That's. I'm going to put it on my website because it's good press, but I don't know. I get embarrassed. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
That's my Catholic upbringing. It's just, be ashamed of everything you do.
Are you in a relationship right now?
No. God, no.
Single, ready to mingle?
I'm single, not ready to mingle. I'm been told I'm a catch. I am a cat, but
what are you looking for? What are you looking for in our partner?
I'm not looking for anything. I got a cat. That's enough of a relationship.
That's it.
We're just friends, but yeah, I don't want to. I'm at this age now.
I had a good cat joke there that I decided I'll let the comedian tell the jokes.
No, you know what it is. When you get to be my age, we're all set in our ways. And if I got involved with someone at this point, it would just be the clash of the titans, I want to do things a certain way. The other person wants to do things a certain way, and it wouldn't last. Plus, my lifestyle. I'm working weekends, and they're going to want to do something on the weekend. So, I'm not lonely. I just don't care about being with somebody at this point.
That's your preference.
Yeah.
You do what you want to do.
Yeah, damn right, man.
You do what you want to do.
That's right.
Talking with Julia Scotti, comedian. She was on America's Got Talent, and since then she has a Showtime special coming out, a CD. She's on tour performing on 2 different comedy tours right now. So The woman, look, anyone that's maybe in the entertainment industry and think maybe is it too late? Is it too late for my big break? When do you say you got your big break?
Oh, this Showtime thing is it.
So you haven't even got it yet.
Well,
Showtime's coming.
Yeah, I mean, America's Got Talent was a big break. I can't say
Certainly.
that it wasn't, and so maybe that was the start of it. But this documentary, My Life, is coming out next year, and the Showtime thing's coming out. So, yeah, it's never too late. I've been doing this for 40 years.
You have advice for comedians that maybe are thinking about quitting or maybe thinking about getting in there or always wanted to do a set and they've never done it? What kind of advice do you have for novice comedians?
Well, if you really feel in your heart that that's what you want to do, or at least want to try and see if then do it. People go, well, I hate, I don't want to bomb. Well, everybody bombs. You're going to bomb when you go up the first time. But the good news is that even if you bomb in front of an audience, you're never going to see those people again. They don't care. They're not even going to remember your name. So just go do it and have fun.
Good advice.
Thanks.
What other type of golden nuggets and wisdom can you share with our viewers here? I love some wisdom, something we could pass down to the viewers.
I have
listeners.
absolutely nothing to
You have no advice? Nothing that they
Well, give me a subject. Maybe I can give you
life.
advice.
How to live life to the fullest.
Oh, yeah.
Live it life right.
You take life by the balls and you yank and just do whatever your heart tells you to do.
Speaking of balls, you don't have those anymore?
Oh, God. I can't believe you asked me that question.
You set yourself up for it.
No, I didn't. I just mentioned you take life by the balls. I didn't talk about my balls. I don't have any balls, no.
Cut them right off. Did you keep them?
Oh, God.
Did you keep
Yeah,
them?
I made earrings out of them. What the hell kind of question
Because I would want to have those. I would want to have them on a mantle.
Oh, my God. Jeez Louise. Oh, no. Let's move on.
What, they sent them away to study?
Yeah, they flushed them down the toilet like a dead goldfish. I don't know what they did with them. What the hell kind of question is that?
You'd think the viewers and listeners are curious about this
I
stuff.
don't know. It's like me asking you how big your dick is. I don't want to know. Please don't tell me.
I'm a grower, not a shower.
I don't want to hear it. But you know what I'm saying. Let's ask me another question.
Let's move on. We're
Yes.
moving on with Julia Scotti here. You ready to play a fun game on our show that we play with all our guests?
Oh, yeah.
It's a very easy game, but you have to follow the rules. You have to listen. It's called Word for Word. I'm going to say a word, maybe someone's name, maybe an object. You have to say the first word that comes to your mind right off the bat.
Okay.
You got to be brutally honest.
I did this in therapy, so yeah.
Yeah, so no cheating, though.
All right.
And I'm going to grade you on this.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you understand the rules?
Yes.
All right, so we have Julia Scotti playing Word for Word on the Talk Golden to Me video podcast show. Producer, give me some of that game show music you always do. Yeah, I hear that. That's good. All right, here we go. Word for Word with Julia Scotti. Say the first word that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Cat.
Dog.
Uterus.
None.
Banana.
Split.
Howie Mandel.
Nice.
Comedy.
Love.
Simon Cowell.
Surprising.
Heidi Klum.
Cold.
Nick Cannon.
Nice.
Mel B.
Great.
Evan Golden.
Wonderful.
You've just completed your first game of Word for Word.
Do I get to move to the next level?
You did. You
Oh.
did. How was it? Were you nervous?
Oh, no, it was fine. It was fine.
You passed.
I did?
Were you honest, though? Were you saying everything?
No, I was very honest. Yeah, no.
I'm surprised you said he was cold.
Heidi Klum.
Yeah. So
She
Heidi
was
Klum
not a warm and fuzzy person.
Really?
Yeah, she was. I don't think she liked me much anymore.
Really?
She doesn't, with comedy, she's German, and, I think it kind of lost something in translation for her. Mel B, on the other hand, was hot stuff. She was a pisser. She was a lot of fun.
What about Simon? What was he like?
Simon was surprisingly kind, and I don't know.
Were you attracted to him?
He's kind of hot. He is kind of hot.
I figured that you had. I figured that you had something for him.
Why? Why would you think
I
that?
don't know. I just sensed that. I had those vibes.
He's a sexy guy, yeah, he's I do. Well, yeah, I do. I had more of a thing for Mel B, though. I'm sort of unisexual. I don't prefer one over the other. If somebody is nice and their personality is sexy, I get.
Who's like your celeb crush? Like if you could have one date with one celebrity, one romantic date, we're dancing, we're drinking, we're snuggling. Who are you picking?
Kristen Wiig.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, she's funny.
Funny.
She's, very funny.
Beautiful.
And beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. Kristen Wiig. You want a male now too?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do both. Let's have some fun.
George Clooney, for the obvious reasons. I talk a lot about George Clooney in my act.
What do you say about him?
I talk. Well, I'd say I talk about presents. When you get older, birthday presents suck. Except I want a life-size milk chocolate George Clooney that I could start eating in the middle. That's I am. No show is complete without a George Clooney.
I'll take a
reference.
bite of that. I have a sweet tooth myself.
Yeah. Oh, you swing both ways, do you?
I thought we were talking dessert and chocolate.
Oh, okay. No. I start eating in the middle.
No, I'm a trisexual.
What does that mean?
I'll try anything.
Oh, for crying out loud! For crying out loud!
Is it hard? Like, I want to ask you like a serious topic because the transgender stuff right now is like obviously all over the news. Even what bathrooms to go to. Do you use a men's room or a woman's room?
Use a woman's room.
Use it complete because you're 100% a woman.
Well, yes, absolutely. I mean, can you see? That's where the title of the album came from. Hello, Boys, I'm Back, because there was a time a couple of years ago when we recorded it that North Carolina was trying to get.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, well, that's where the title came, and I used to talk about it in my act. I'm like, could you see me looking at me now? Can you see me using the men's room, like kicking open the door, going, "Hello, boys, I'm back," And so that's where the title came from. No, I used the ladies' room. No, men's room.
You're not getting any hecklers on stage when you're performing, are you?
No, I'm pretty. You know what? I'm not mean to my audience. I really love my audience, so it doesn't really elicit that kind of response from them. No, they're pretty cool. I love my peeps. Yeah.
That's good. Man, look, you got some street credit.
I do. I'm from Jersey, man.
The Garden State.
That's right. There's one garden left there.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't seen the gardens there.
Actually, Jersey's a beautiful place. It's people they only know what they see coming up the turnpike, but we got the shore, we got the mountains, we got coyotes now. I love it. I'm born and raised here. I'll die there.
She's a Jersey girl for life.
Through and through. Yep.
I love that. What's that mean to you to be a Jersey girl?
Oh,
what are Jersey? Are they tough? Are they mean? Are they rude? They say what's on their
They
mind.
just don't
They harsh?
take any bullshit from anybody.
You're not taking any from me.
No. Well,
I'm sure.
Fuck you. That's what I say.
Whoa.
No. It's just it's just an attitude. We've been so we're stuck between Philadelphia and New York, and we've always been like, the stepchild, and so we just like don't screw with me, and that's Jersey attitude. Yeah. I love my state.
Hey, you gotta have pride.
I do.
Stick to your heritage, those roots.
I'm Italian too. I mean,
Are you?
Oh my God,
You cook good?
Yeah, I do. That's a sexist question.
Italians. It wasn't a woman or a man thing. It was more of an Italian thing.
I do. I make a hell of a sauce.
I married an Italian because of their cooking skills.
That was the only reason you married her?
Yes. Well, I thought she had a big trust fund coming, but I was wrong. Messed that up.
So you're no longer married to her?
Still married. I can't get rid of her.
You don't wear a ring though.
Look what she makes me wear on the shirt.
That's Jersey, right? Yeah.
That's not the middle finger. That's the engagement finger.
Ah, look
See?
at that. See, I thought it was the middle finger.
No.
But you don't wear a ring now. How come?
I don't like jewelry. I don't know. I like to be like naked and free. Nothing on my body.
Again,
Were you nervous to come on the show because of your physical attraction for me and towards me?
It was. I had to take a Xanax this morning. When you walked in the room, I went, oh, "Wow, what the hell is that?" And I was. Yeah. You ever been with a trans woman?
No, I haven't.
I would rock your world, man.
Really?
Oh, I had what you have.
So see, so
I knew
you
where
have
all the
the
good places
experience.
are. Absolutely.
That's not fair. You have all the inside secrets and tips.
I do. And, whenever men get icked out about it, I tell them that, and they just go, interesting.
When you had your surgeries, is it different then than now? Are they doing different things, or as the technology advanced, do you have to have any updates? Are we good?
Yeah, I have to get a download every 6 months, yeah.
Does it grow back?
No, it doesn't. What the hell kind of questions are these? I have done hundreds of interviews. I've never had somebody ask me that.
That only on the Talk Golden to Me video podcast show. You think I'm like every other show?
Apparently not. You're in a lawyer's office, and
and we're talking.
Is that so I can go outside and sue you after this show?
You signed all the paperwork before you came on here, right?
Uh-huh.
So penises do not grow back.
Not to my knowledge. No.
Or it hasn't grown back yet?
No. And hopefully, no.
Having this vagina, is it everything you ever thought and you imagined, though?
Oh, I don't want to talk about my. We're back to my vagina again.
I'm so just intrigued
Why
by
are you
it.
obsessed
I
with?
want to see the before and after. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so intrigued by it. It's the Scorpio in me. My parents went to Woodstock. We're hippies.
Did you ever see your mother's vagina?
Does it look like?
I mean, after you came out of
very,
it?
very bushy back then, though. So I never saw. I saw only hair.
Okay. You really are demented.
I am. I know.
I don't want to talk about my vagina.
Me either.
Okay.
But you have one. And I love vaginas.
I'm glad. All men love vaginas. They like looking at them. They like touching them. They like talking to them. They like it when one vagina touches another vagina. They're vagina crazy. They just don't want one.
You know that's called scissoring, by the way.
Yes, I know what it's called.
Oh, you knew that? How do you know all this stuff?
Well, I'm 67 years old. Do you think I haven't lived?
I didn't think you knew all the slang and all this stuff.
Yeah, believe me, I've done a lot that I don't talk about, and I'm not going to talk about it here.
You have to share on my
No, I
show.
don't have to share shit.
I want you to open everything.
You are one sexist bastard.
I want you to open up.
No, I'm not opening up.
Would you make out with me on our show?
No.
French kiss.
No. I don't like men.
Booby grab.
No.
So that's the part I'm confused about. So you don't like men, but women date men, and you became a woman. That's what I'm trying to understand.
Okay, I will answer.
Thank you.
Because gender identity and sexual identity are two completely different things.
Educate me.
All right. I was attracted to women before, and that hasn't changed. However, if Sam Elliott walked in the room, all bets are off. But yeah, so for the most part, I'm still attracted to women. Is that clear enough for you?
Yeah. So I no, because I didn't realize there's identity and preference.
Yeah, they're two completely different things. A lot of people get them confused.
I did get that
Yeah, a
confused.
lot of
I
people-
apologize.
Oh,
Have I said anything that's offended you on our show?
everything you've said is offensive. I've never been so offended in my life.
I feel bad. I don't want to offend you. I'm a fan of yours.
No, I don't mind answering questions. I just, when you start talking about my private parts and what they look like,
Well, you didn't show me.
No, and I never will. No. No. I don't show them to anybody.
We have a lot of cute women in the studio here, though, huh?
Yeah. She's adorable over there. That's Josephina.
Julia Scotti in the house. Hopefully I didn't lose her as a friend after being on our show.
No, you
I'm
never had me
nervous.
as a friend in the first place. So
That's a good one. See, that's a
okay.
good one.
All right, that's a keeper.
That's a keeper. Can you train someone to be funny? Can you practice to be funny, or it just has to come natural to people?
I think you got to have what we call funny bones.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn. You can sort of learn how to tell a joke, and you can learn how to perform. But I think I think being intrinsically funny is something you're born with. I do. Not that you couldn't. Sorry, not that you couldn't do stand up as dull and as unfunny as you are. Oh, and right for the.
I could take it though.
No,
I deserve it.
I'm sure you
beat me up.
I've
Beat me
heard.
up a little
I've
bit.
heard you can take it. No, I'm just kidding.
You're still so naughty though.
You sound like Simon now. That's what Simon said.
Did he?
He said to me. He said because I dropped the F-bomb on the show, and he was like, "Julia, you're so naughty."
See, me and Simon both sensed that
That's
and
right.
felt it.
Yeah.
It's the truth. So be proud of being naughty.
I am proud
I'd
of it.
rather you be naughty.
I am proud of it. I'm proud of who I am and what I am. Yeah. No.
What else do you want to accomplish on planet Earth?
That's a good question.
My first good one of the interview.
It is, absolutely. I want to help kids. When I was a teacher, I was always sort of drawn to the kids who had issues and problems, because I grew up in a bad environment too. So, and I want to do something to help trans kids, especially because like I said, that suicide rate is up in 41% attempt rate, and that's
alarming.
Well, when you think about it nationally, the entire suicide attempt rate for everyone is something like 0.2%. And these kids are, a lot of them are getting thrown out of their houses by their parents. a lot of them have to turn to becoming sex workers, and they're out on the streets, and they get it's just a downhill spiral, and so I'd like to do something to help them, before I check out of here.
That's a great cause. That's nice.
It is. I mean, I try to do, I do benefits when asked. I go speak.
Yeah, I see you do a lot of motivational speaking. What's the stroke of the pen? What's that?
Oh, I had a blog site called Julie Scotti Inside and Out, and you can find it on Blogspot. And I've been neglectful of it for the past year or two, but every now and then
you're a busy woman.
Yeah, well, every now and then I'll put a new one up. So that's what that is. And I've worked on. I've written a book. I've written pilots. So I'm always writing. I can't stop writing.
Well, that was the teacher in you. A lot of people didn't know that when you took a break from comedy and what your transition, you stepped away and you became a teacher.
I was going to get out altogether. That was my goal. I had hit like 50, and it just wasn't happening comedically. And I went back to college and finished. I graduated, and I became a teacher. And then comics are funny. They don't handle authority figures very well. So after 7 years of teaching, I just decided it wasn't for me. And I had a chance luncheon with a friend of mine, comedian named Chris Rich, and she, we went out for lunch, and she said to me, "When are you coming back to comedy?" This was 2011. Like, I'm never coming back. I'm 60 years old, and I'm not coming back. She said, "You can't get out," and it's true. Comedy's like the Hotel California. You can check out anytime you want, but you can never leave. And I went back one night to a club I had worked. And got on stage, and it was like somebody, like a junkie. I mean, tie me off, shoot me up. I was hooked again, and I've been back ever since. So
Don't stop.
no, at this point now I can't. No.
Julia Scotti, we have the Showtime special coming out, Woman of a Certain Age.
Mm-hmm.
The CD's out now.
Mm-hmm.
America's Got Talent still getting 1 million plays on YouTube. Your segment. You're on tour doing your comedy. That's still not enough. Now you have a documentary coming out. Is it about your life, comedy, and the transition, everything?
Yeah. When I was up in Nantucket, I think it was before HET, and I had done a show up there, and after the show, I met this woman named Susan Sandler, and she is you may know her work. There's a movie called Crossing Delancey. It was a big movie. She wrote it, and she's a professor at NYU Film School. She teaches screenwriting, and she approached me about doing a documentary on my life. And personally, I don't think my life is that interesting, but apparently she thought it was. And that was 4 years ago, and she's been working on it for that long, and it's just about ready. And I know she started to submit to film festivals, and so by next year,
It's already all filmed?
it's about 99% complete. Yeah, she's just doing post-production.
I'll
now,
have to
but-
send him some of these clips to edit in there.
Yeah, send her this. But I've seen the rough cut of it, and it's really, she did a great job. So we're hoping that also generates some buzz too.
That'll be exciting. That's going to be great.
Yeah, I mean
It's just so timely right now.
It is. I mean, she's kind of anxious to get it out there too, because it's more and more trans folks are coming out, and they're showing up on TV and not in movies so much, and not in sitcoms, and that's another thing too. You asked what I hope to accomplish. I want to make it possible for more trans folks to be, in mainstream.
I think you're opening up the doors for what you're doing on America's Got Talent. For them to have you on a show like that, which is kind of a family show, and to have your story be shared, I think that we've taken major leaps.
I could be wrong, but I think I was the first trans person ever to appear on that show, or really on primetime television. In that kind of role, and so that was big for me too, and I was kind of proud of that. It's every wall you break down. It's all about little victories. It's not the one big giant victory. It's just taking another stone out of the wall and busting through. So yeah, I'm happy. I am happy. Yep.
Well, Simon Cowell said that you are a pure joy, or I think Howie Mandel might have said that.
I think Simon said that too.
And Simon said that you genuinely are a funny woman and made him laugh. So when you're talking a guy that has seen so much talent, and for him to give praise, that's got to be pretty. That's a good pat on the back right there.
I remember looking out. People have asked me, because you can't see them.
The lights are in there.
Well, you can see the judges there. You can't see much back in the audience. But I remember looking over and I saw him laughing, and I was like, "Oh, good. That's all I really cared about. I didn't want him ripping me up, And he was laughing so hard. Life was good after that.
That's great. Is it sometimes annoying when you're like, if you're hanging out with friends and they're like, make us laugh, Julia? Come on, say something funny. People do that to you as a comedian?
Sometimes they do. People who have no class, like you just did.
Like I just did.
Yeah, well, I just tell you want me to make you laugh, give me money. That's what I do. Just and that shuts them up.
Say I could be a magician. I could show you how to make it disappear.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Do you do stand up?
Should I?
No. Leave it in the hands of professionals. No, I was just curious.
You don't see any signs of maybe potential?
None whatsoever. No, I see people, walking out on you.
Really?
No, not really. You should try it has it ever interested you?
It has.
Have you ever, thought about going to an open mic and trying it?
I've thought about it.
Well, what's stopping you?
I have nothing funny to say.
Well, I can testify to that, but you really have to. You really have to just.
Who knew Julia Scotti was so brutally honest?
Well, that's my middle name.
You're just character assassinating me.
No, I only assassinate the people I like.
Good. That's what I say too.
Yeah.
Thank you for admitting that you do like me.
I like you on a superficial level. Yeah.
You're getting there.
I don't know if I'd go to your house for a barbecue, but I No, I like you, Evan.
You do.
If you need that kind of approval.
Well, I want you to like me.
I do like you.
I want you to have a crush on me, actually.
No, I can't do that. I'm sorry.
I'm metrosexual, though.
I know, but I just, you're not my type.
What?
You're not my type.
My mom told me any woman that doesn't like me is a lesbian.
Well, I am. So your mom was right. There you go. I'm like, although being trans, lesbians hardcore lesbians don't want to date me because they still look at me as a man. I'm for the lesbian curious. I'm sort of a starter lesbian. So if you want to see if you like being a lesbian, I'm the one you should be with.
Have you went on a date with someone and didn't tell them?
I would never do that.
You would tell them before?
Oh yeah, because that's how you get killed.
Yeah.
No, I would never do that. I would never ever do that. They deserve to know that. And again, I don't want to be killed on a date. We're just like everyone.
I know you put your pants on the same way.
Yeah, I mean we've been around for thousands of years.
I've probably been
Archaeologists have found cave paintings of trans people.
Really?
Oh my God! And they know they can identify the trans folks because they're the ones walking around the cave trying to figure out which bathroom they're allowed to use. Is it the one with the blue woolly mammoth or the pink woolly mammoth on it?
That's Julia Scotti. Always could throw in a joke for me. I love that.
You owe me lunch after this.
What do you want? Want pastrami?
You know what? I can't have pastrami.
Why do you not?
Because
we're in Boca.
I know, but I had open heart surgery earlier.
What do you want? Salad?
Not really. I'd rather have pastrami.
Some French fries.
Latkes. No, latkes.
Latkes?
What, it's a good place for latkes?
Yeah. Come on, I'm a Jew out here. You think I don't know the best delis around here?
All right. Well, you want to take me?
Only if you say it's a date on our show.
It's a friendly date. Sure. It's a
I'm winning over Julia Scotti. I'm a flirt. I can't help it.
I'm a whore. I would go out with him just for a pastrami sandwich.
That's funny.
I'm a food whore. I am.
I would like to know what this experience was like for you coming on the Talk Golden to Me show.
Well, let's see. How can I describe it? It was at times, it was the best of times. It was mostly the worst of times. There were good days and there were days like this. No, it wasn't so bad. You're all bluster. You really are. You're just like a big soft marshmallow center. That's what you are.
Are you calling me fat?
No, I'm not calling you fat. I'm
sweet.
saying,
Call me sweet.
Yeah, you have a certain sweetness about you in your own demented way. And
a lot of people have called me demented.
You are. You were totally demented. I mean, if you didn't have the show, you would probably be on a street corner scaring people. With the hat and And
I'm a voice of the community. We have questions.
Which community?
The world.
You're a global citizen.
I'm a global citizen.
Okay. Well, I
want to be a global citizen.
Okay.
I feel like I have to have like good posture when I say that.
Yeah.
I want to be a global citizen.
Well,
I am a global citizen.
Do you support the green movement?
Of course, I'm a hippie. Peace, love, and happiness. Save the trees, save the oceans.
Okay, good. Well, then you're a global citizen.
I can see any straws here.
No, I don't.
No straws.
I see a lot of plastic, though.
They're plastic.
All right. And this picture behind us is fascinating.
What's your one joke you always drop in every one of your... Do you have like one that you always kind of drop, like your signature, or is it different every show?
No, I have a closing bit, but I'm not going to do it here.
No, ruin it. We're not doing that.
Yeah, no, I have a closing bit, and I try to rotate it every couple of years, come up with a new one, because this one is just so good I can't let it go yet. But I am writing. I wrote a whole bunch of new stuff for this special, and I'm working on a second album. So that's the hard part of stand-up. It's like to come up with another hour.
Honestly, and all jokes aside, we did have a lot of jokes here today and fool around a lot, but you're a courageous, you're a brave human being, and I think you're an inspiration to a lot of people. And you've changed a lot of lives. You've touched hearts, you've changed lives, and you're bringing joy to this world, and I think that's a true gift. So,
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. It's the truth.
Well, you're always welcome to come out to a show.
I plan on it. I can't wait to see you live. So I'm going to be watching you on the Showtime show. Make sure all our viewers tune in. Go right to her website, juliascotti.com, so you can see when her Showtime special is going to be broadcasting. Download her CD as well, which is Welcome Back, Boys. Here I Am, right?
Hello, boys. I'm back.
Hello, Boys. I'm Back.
Yes.
And then she also is touring all around the world right now, so get on that. And you jump on the train now. If you haven't seen her on America's Got Talent, check out that video as well. It went viral all over YouTube. Simon and Howie just fell in love with her, and they just never seen anything like it. So
nothing.
There's nothing like you.
You're
one of a kind.
I am.
Viewers and listeners, thank you for joining us on another episode of the Talk Golden to Me video podcast. We appreciate your time for listening. Of course, subscribe, share, like, follow Julia Scotti on all her social media. She appreciates that as well. And let's promote her. She's a wonderful human being, so talented, so funny, and such a true inspiration. So, viewers, till next time, your boy Golden TV is out of here. See ya. Julia, give my kiss goodbye.